What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today we're going to be talking about a very unexpected but very welcome surprise from the fine folks over at Viz Media. So, Viz Media dropped a little bombshell in the middle of the night, and much like Luffy's wanted poster skyrocketed after the events of Wano, Viz's wanted poster is about to skyrocket after what they did in the wee hours of the morning. So, to give a little bit of context to what I'm talking about, this lovely stack of manga, this lovely assortment of manga I have in my hands, Downfall, How Do We Relationship, Zom 100, N05, Call of the Night, Ikigami the Ultimate, and Saturn Apartments. Rob, what do all these manga have in common? Well, Viz dropped us a lovely little surprise announcement in the middle of the night, and I'm going to show you what it is real quick. The Viz Manga app. Now, I'm gonna go real quickly how the events of today unfolded for me in relation to this announcement. So I woke up super early like I normally do, getting myself ready for work, getting the kids ready for school, and I glance at Twitter, I see Viz trending. I'm like, okay, interesting. Browse to YouTube, have a video suggested saying Viz big announcement. I'm like, I'm tempted, but I'm like, gotta be a good dad, get these kids off to school, and I need to get to work to afford all this manga. So I go about my day, get to work, whatever. So I get to work. Oh yeah, Viz was trending earlier. Let me go back to Twitter and see what's going on. And I was not expecting a whole new app. So the Viz Manga app is completely separate from the Shonen Jump app that we've had for a handful of years at this point. But much like the Shonen Jump app, the Viz Manga app will feature tons of series, where for majority of them, just like the Shonen Jump app, the first 3 chapters are free and the three most recent chapters are free. And the subscription for the Viz Manga app is just $1.99. And just like the Shonen Jump app though, or the Shonen Jump subscription, the Viz Manga subscription has certain series that are only on the online website depending on the age rating of the series and stuff. So just want to mention that up front, just so that a lot of y'all are aware of that. But yeah, so like I said, whole new app, like I said, completely separate, so separate subscription. But if you already have an account through Shonen Jump, when you go into the web browser, for example, as those of y'all watching the video version of this see, they have these little tabs up here so you can access both stuff from the Viz Manga app as well as the Shonen Jump app, all from basically the same account, so to speak. But like I said, separate paid subscriptions. Now, when this was announced this morning, they kind of like briefly mentioned in the video, like, okay, yeah, we got some Juji Ito stuff, some Komi Can't Communicate stuff, Zom 100, and a few other series like that, Inuyasha and Nana. I'm like, okay, cool. Some of those, of course, some legendary series, some of those I'm interested in, but I'm like, okay, But the joy on my face when I came to the website and I clicked on See All, just to see what all series they had listed. And the reason why, like I said, I have this stack of manga behind me is because there are some series here that I have in my collection here, and I'm going to point out 2 specifically. Saturn Apartments and Ikigami the Ultimate. Both of these series are pretty much out of print. With Saturn Apartments, I was only able to buy the first 2 physically, and the rest I just had to buy digitally through the Google Bookstore. And with Ikigami, I was able to easily find like the middle section of the volumes, but was it 1, 5, and 10 are extremely hard to find. I managed to snag 1 earlier this year, but 5 and 10 have continued to elude me. Well, to my joy, when I was scrolling through the app and just seeing so many series, and I'm going to more context in a minute, but stuff like Mouth, like I said, Call of the Night, Insomniacs at the School, Case Closed, Alice in Borderland, and Black Lagoon. Like when I started getting down a little bit further, and when I saw Black Lagoon, I was like, oh, there is more here than I anticipated. And like I said, I kept going. Dead Demons, freaking Dorohedoro, Downfall, and just Goodnight Poon Poon, and just so many freaking series. And there we go. Ikigami, The Ultimate Limit. After years, I can finally read this series and so many others. What's a couple other big ones? Magi, because the freaking anime is like it ain't coming back. And I loved those first couple seasons of the anime, and I've heard great things about the manga. So I'm like, man, but it's like 30 something volumes. That's a lot for this poor old dad to buy. But hey, your boy, hey, I can afford $1.99 a month. You know, maybe one of the kids won't get a Happy Meal this week, but you know, a small sacrifice for some great manga. But yeah, this was just such a amazing surprise. Like I said, to my knowledge, there was no precursor. There was no hinting that this was coming. Ping Pong is on here as well. Like I said, Saturn Apartments, Drifting Classroom. That's one. Like so many of these series, I glance at the volume covers for Yakuza Lover every freaking time I go into the store, and I'm like, someday, you know, maybe when the kids are grown and I have a few coins back in my pocket, I'll be able to start buying and collecting some of these series. But to see that pretty much they're doing the same treatment with this as they do with the Shonen Jump stuff is amazing to see. Now, very briefly though, I'll mention. Let me see if I can find one for a good example. Let me go to some of these more ongoing series. Frieren, super happy to see that as well. So we have a few chapter gaps, and this happened years ago, back when Shonen Jump first moved over to their new subscription model as well, to where pretty much a lot of series, especially these ones that are still ongoing, like Frieren and Call of the Night and some of these other series, pretty much everything up to where the current English version of this is at will be on the app. And speaking of which, I'll mention real quick, as far as I know as well, unfortunately, the Viz Manga subscription is only available in the US and Canada, I believe. But hopefully they'll expand that to more countries and stuff. But I believe a lot of this is kind of due to some licensing stuff going on in different countries and different regions. Because shout out to the homies from over on the Behind the Manga podcast. Two of the hosts, Manga Alerts and Winter Venom, they both held a Twitter space earlier today where a lot of us in the community kind of came together to discuss this. And some of the speculation is that probably because a lot of series, depending on the different countries and regions and stuff, are licensed by different publishers and different companies, and so sometimes there's a lot more hoops to go through, and it's not just as simple like, well, Viz owns the stuff, why aren't they just putting it all up on the app or whatever? there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of money involved in how a lot of these decisions play out and stuff. But yeah, so like I said, hopefully a lot of stuff will come to more countries and stuff in the future. Maybe they'll come up with some type of international solution like they did with Manga Plus for a lot of the Shonen Jump titles and stuff. So, but yeah, so a lot of the series in here are from some of Viz's other magazines and stuff that they own, like Shoujo Beat, and I believe the other one was called like Shokugaku and stuff like that. So yeah, so lots of, like I said, the other magazines and stuff, which I think is kind of why there is the split between the content, because while I do agree, like when we had the discussion earlier on the Twitter space, it would be awesome if they would have had some type of like bundle thing or something to get all this stuff in one location. But you know, there's always a lot more stuff going on behind the scenes with how a lot of this stuff works and functions. But all in all, though, like I said, I'm still excited to have access to some of these series. Like I said, so many of them have been trying to hunt down for years. Or just some of them are just some hidden gems that have just gotten lost to time because they went out of print over a decade plus ago, you know. And it's like you have the handful of us in the manga community, podcast community, whatever, you know, that like not many videos are going to pop up where somebody talking about Saturn Apartments. You know, if you search for Saturn Apartments on YouTube, my face will be one of few that talks about this series. So, but hopefully with this new subscription, it'll kind of have a similar effect like with Shonen Jump, to where you might go to the Shonen Jump subscription or get it to, hey, I got the Shonen Jump subscription because I want to read One Piece or Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero Academia or Chainsaw Man and stuff like that. But once you get into the ecosystem, oh, what is this? Sakamoto Days and so many other stuff. Like Sakamoto Days and Akane Banashi and Ichinoso Family and Undead Unluck and so many other dope little gems that you find along the way. So hopefully people might come to the Viz app, you know, for stuff like Inuyasha and bigger titles and stuff like that, but then like, oh, what is this Saturn Apartments? What is this Ikigami the Ultimate? What is this Frere and Beyond Journey's End? So like I said, it's a very awesome and very welcome surprise. Like I said, there's a few caveats and stuff, like I said, with some of the ongoing series kind of having some chapter gaps and stuff, which, like I said, those will kind of be filled in as the English volumes release. But they also do have a lot of chapters of stuff past where the English volumes and stuff are, which is, like I said, what creates that gap. Because I remember when it happened years ago, we had that situation with Demon Slayer when that happened and stuff. So, but eventually they'll get caught up in stuff. And I'll just say, this is definitely a welcome way to do this type of announcement, because, and I won't touch on it too much or whatever, because the service is literally going to launch tomorrow or within a matter of hours from whenever y'all might see this, and I'll talk about it more on my next full podcast episode later in the week. But the K-Manga app and stuff from Kodansha, they've been teasing and building that up for well over a month. Like, they announced that it was coming, I think like back in like February or March, and here we are, you know, a little ways into May, and it's still not coming out until May 10th. And so it's like having this daily tease of, hey, coming in 30 days, 15 days, 6 days, versus Viz just stealthily middle of the night being like, boom, new app, $1.99, it's available right now, and you got the timeline on fire. Everybody talking about it. We creating Twitter spaces. I'm freaking recording the video, you know, while my kids banging on the door. You know, conversations are happening while others are still slowly. But of course, you know, different companies, different mentalities with the different teams and stuff behind how they approach these different promotions and stuff. But we're in 2023, and people want that immediacy. It's like, oh, there's an app that's gonna have some of my favorite series or whatever. Oh, and it's available right now, and it's only a few bucks. Hey, impulse buy. Somebody, hey, I'll drop a couple bucks in a heartbeat versus trying to go and buy 30 something volumes of a series, or like I said, dealing with weird payment models and stuff. So, but all in all, I'm rambling. Like I said, I just very excited for this news, and this just opens the floodgates for more reviews and stuff for me to do, because like I said, now I have easier access to so many series that either I started reading but I couldn't afford to continue to keep buying the physical volumes right now, or stuff like I said that is just like out of print or hard to find. And it's like Viz is like, yo Rob, yo Dad Needs to Talk, we got you, and here we are. So shout out to Viz, and I hope that we continue to see more publishers do this in this fashion, with an actual just flat out subscription fee, no weird paying by chapters or pieces of chapters and all this other mess that some of these other companies have kind of stumbled out the gate with or whatever. So but so let me know what y'all think. Were y'all also caught off guard by this announcement as I was? Are there any series that you're excited to finally get to check out, or to maybe to catch up on? And do y'all have any recommendations? Like, going through, y'all can look through my channel or my podcast feed and see, okay, what type of series I've talked about, and then maybe let me know if you got any recommendations. Your boy is always open to recommendations and stuff. So, but yeah. So, like I said, I'll be discussing this more once I do my next full podcast episode in the coming days. But for now, I am looking forward to diving into more manga. Like I said, freaking Black Lagoon and Ikigami and so many other dope things are on here. But that's gonna do it for this one. As always, thank y'all so much for watching and or listening. And like I said, you can catch me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Y'all be easy and y'all read some manga. Peace.